friends, welcome back to my channel where I have been sharing my TTC journey, and in last week's video I took you through a timeline all the way from when I came off contraception in May to the present day. So if you missed that video, I will link it down below and that will catch you up on my journey so far. And in last week's video I mentioned that I was going to be sharing my scan results with you and also giving you an update on my ovulation. But for today we're going to bench ovulation and talk about that next week because unfortunately my scan results delivered a very unexpected diagnosis. So get a cup of tea and I am going to take you back to about 4 years ago when I was put under gynae and sent off to the hospital because I had ectropions. If you don't know what an ectropion is, it is basically where the cells grow on the outside of the cervix where they shouldn't be, which can cause some pain, discomfort and some irregular bleeding as well. So when I was first diagnosed with ectropions, I was sent for a scan to look at my ovaries and my womb, and the key point here is that I was told everything looked okay. And then I was sent back to the hospital to have the ectropion removed. So in my mind, I had that scan and I thought that everything was completely a-okay with the ovaries because that's what I've been told. In terms of ectropions, I was told they weren't necessarily anything to worry about and they can just be a side effect of being on the pill for so long. So although they were uncomfortable and annoying and I hated having to go and get it removed, I wasn't too concerned. And as you'll know if you've been following my channel, I came off contraception in May 2020 and I have been having irregular periods. We were on a really good streak. I had like 3 periods in a row and then December came and absolutely nothing, no period, nada. And in the month of December I was sent to have a scan because I was experiencing some pelvic pain, specifically in my left side, and when the pain was really bad I could actually feel that my ovary felt quite hard. So this was obviously really concerning. I first of all had my bloods done, which all came back normal, but the pain continued, so I pushed for a scan. And that's one thing that I do want to say before even moving on to like the next part of my story. Always push for a second opinion. I was only sent for a scan after seeing a second doctor. The first doctor wasn't concerned because my bloods looked normal. The doctor put the pain down to being sort of around ovulation time and just basically said it was ovulation pain. Sent me on my way and basically said to come back if the pain continued, which I did, and then I was sent for a scan straight away. Now the most frustrating thing is when I went for my scan, there wasn't very much feedback during it, and before I left I kind of said like, is everything okay? Because there was no indication, and she said to me, yeah, everything looks fine. Which is certainly not the case. So I had to wait for my results, I had to book an appointment with my doctor, I wasn't able to receive the results over the phone, and I had to wait another 3 weeks for my results, which was over the Christmas and New Year period, and understandably it was so stressful for me, having no idea what this scan showed. So a couple of days ago a doctor rang me to discuss my results and promised myself I wouldn't cry. I've been diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome, which apparently affects 1 in 10 women in the UK. I'm not sure what the stat is like worldwide. And although my bloods looked normal and my testosterone looked normal, they could see from the scan that I had polycystic ovaries, which came as a massive shock. Never in any of my appointments before had any of the doctors ever mentioned the fact that I could have PCOS. I'd been for a scan years before, there was no evidence of PCOS on there, and the doctor is telling me that I've developed this in the last 4 years, which I just find it really difficult to believe that. So obviously, naturally, when you get told you've got something, you're Googling away, and I was just like digging myself into a massive hole, reading all the stuff on the internet. So I just had to stop. But when reading the symptoms, it was so interesting. Then thinking back to other times where I've been to the doctors with issues, and if you piece all these things together, it could possibly spell PCOS. So in the past few years, I've been to the doctors because I have been very fatigued. I've also been to the doctors because I have suffered with hair loss to a point where I have lost like chunks of hair, and it was put down to me being, at the time, vegetarian. Last year I had lots of issues with my stomach, and I had to go for an endoscopy, and I can't remember what it's called, but where they also put a camera down your throat because I was having terrible issues with my stomach. These were symptoms which are also found online which were linked to PCOS. Now, I don't have acne, I am not particularly hairy or oily, and yeah, I just didn't have the normal symptoms that you would normally tick off which are associated with PCOS. So to say I was devastated was an absolute understatement. And with it being such a common condition, I feel like the doctor that I spoke to was kind of flippant about it and didn't give me a lot of information about what I can do going forward. And this year we would very much like to try for a baby. So I explained that to the doctor, and the advice that I've been given is to start trying, track my ovulation, and if I can't get pregnant in the next 6 to 12 months, then to go back to discuss interventions. Which, if I'm honest, just isn't sitting right with me at all. I feel like there was a lack of information about what I can do to really help me with my PCOS. When I was doing my research, it says that there's loads of different types of PCOS, and I don't know which type that I've got. So it's incredibly hard for me to make any kind of adjustments to, say, diet, lifestyle, or anything like that to sort of help me along my way. So I think once I've done my research and I've got a good understanding of PCOS, I'm going to make another appointment with the doctor and ask to have more bloods done so we can start to establish what type of PCOS that I've got. If my testosterone levels were normal, it might mean that I have adrenal PCOS, and I would therefore need the necessary blood tests to tell me that, so then I know what to do going forward. I am continuing to track my ovulation. I started this at the end of December, and in next week's video I will definitely show you what my method has been for that, and hopefully be able to see whether I am any closer to ovulating this month. But yeah, I just wanted to catch you guys up on those scan results, and I don't know if I was just burying my head in the sand or in complete denial, but I honestly did not think I was going to come back with a diagnosis of PCOS. So yeah, filming this has been incredibly difficult, if I'm completely honest, and I'm finding it very hard to have this label as having something that isn't fixable, and I think that is the part that I'm really struggling with. So yeah, it made sense for this to be the next video, to catch you up, to say that the diagnosis of hypothalamic amenorrhea was completely wrong. And I think that's another aspect that I've really struggled with, because for the last 8 months I have been completely blaming myself, thinking that my lifestyle, my diet, my exercise is what had caused my period loss, and I put so much pressure on myself because I thought I had done this to myself. And again, that is what's made this so difficult. I feel now that I'm almost back at square one with a diagnosis that I just don't understand. Some of you who follow me on Instagram have just been amazing and also have PCOS and have been so forthcoming with offering me help and advice, which has been amazing, because as horrible as it is to know that there's other people out there that have this, I have taken comfort in being able to talk about it with other women and share our experiences. And I really hope that this video will also help other women who have maybe also recently got a diagnosis or have been suffering with PCOS for a while and maybe having some issues with periods and fertility. I really hope that we can connect and begin to really help each other. I think even just having someone to speak to sometimes can be really helpful. So there it is. There is the results from my scan. I do have PCOS, and that is just going to be possibly a barrier to my TTC journey going forward, but I'm so determined not to let this get me down, and I just need to continue doing my own research, get in touch with the doctors for extra blood tests, and continue to track my ovulation so I know when I'm ovulating and can try to conceive. So thank you so much for watching this video. God, it's probably all over the place. I'm so sorry if it is. So if you've got any advice, please do leave it in the comments down below. I would really appreciate it. Or go and follow me over on Instagram and DM me there. Basically wherever you can get in touch with me and tell me your story as well. That would be amazing. And if you are going through this as well, just please know that you are not alone. So please do comment down below and I will be sure to get back to you. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to see next week's video where I'm sharing my ovulation, and I'll also be sharing some of the supplements that I'm going to start taking and maybe some of the changes that I'm going to be making to my diet and lifestyle based on the research that I have found. So I'd love to have you follow me on this journey. I hope you all have an amazing day and I will see you in my next video.